Hello and welcome to the weekly Global HEARTSTREAM. I'm Gabriel Gonsalves, a professional coach, artist, and speaker who enjoys traveling the world, connecting with amazing people, and talking about the longest, most rewarding journey that you'll ever embark on, the 12-inch journey between your head and your heart. Through individual and group coaching programs, online courses, and live seminars, I teach a heart-centered approach to personal mastery, leadership development, and spiritual growth that helps people become the most loving, joyful, and powerful version of themselves. The Global HEARTSTREAM is a weekly dedicated space to help you reconnect with your heart, raise your vibrational frequency, and remind you just how powerful, loving, and amazing you already are. It's also an invitation to unify our hearts with the intention of bringing more love, compassion, and healing to a world that so desperately needs it. You can find out more about my work by visiting GabrielGonsalves.com, where you can also sign up for my weekly newsletter, join the Heart Leader community, and register for my upcoming seminars. And if you enjoy this HEARTSTREAM, please be sure to subscribe, like, or comment so that we can reach more people and help make this a more loving, compassionate, and heart-centered world. Hello and welcome to the weekly HEARTSTREAM and your host, Gabriel Gonsalves. Today it's Wednesday, the 17th of November, and we're broadcasting live from the south of Spain, the beautiful city of Granada. Today we're talking about how to achieve emotional freedom. Emotional freedom. Is that an utopia? Utopia. Is that utopic? That's our topic? Hello, welcome, Cindy. Hello, Amanda. Hello, Mary Rinaldi from Cold, Massachusetts. Hello, Ana Lopez. She says, hi, I was waiting for us. Yes, I know. Please forgive me. I was running a few minutes late. I was wondering for some video files to render here on my computer. It took a little bit longer than anticipated. Hello, Denise from snowy Wisconsin. She says, so glad I can be a part of the live session today. I'm taking a healing day. You're taking a Denise day, a mental and emotional day. You know, one of the things that I think it took me a very long time to realize, you know, there's a lot of talk out there, a lot of articles, a lot of books that talk about emotional health and mental health. Specifically, I noticed that there's more emphasis on mental health than there is on emotional health, without realizing that, in my experience, mental health is primarily the result of emotional health. It's a very long topic of discussion, but I want to introduce this idea that part of the reason why I'm talking today about achieving emotional freedom is because, in my experience, emotional freedom will undoubtedly lead to greater mental health and even mental freedom as well. What exactly is emotional freedom, and how do you achieve it? Well, we're going to be diving quite deep in our guided meditation. I'm going to be taking you into a place where you can begin to develop the awareness and anchor that awareness within you of your own ability to actually choose how you want to feel at any given time, because that's in essence what emotional freedom is all about. I want to begin by saying that emotional freedom is the skill or the capacity to choose how you want to feel at any given time, regardless of your external conditions, and then also the ability to choose how you want to respond to life's situations and circumstances. We're going to be talking about what that requires. Hello, Erica. Welcome. Hello, Jennifer. Ben, lovely to have you here, brother. My goodness, Amanda, welcome. It's getting cold here in the north, isn't it? I know Wisconsin is snowing. I know here in the south of Spain, well, you see, just a couple of weeks ago I was in t-shirts, and now I'm all buckled up and got. If my face color looks a little bit weird and funny today, it's primarily because I have this infrared heater by my side. It makes me look kind of orange. I don't know what color my skin is coming up on your computer. Hello, Linda Luz. Linda Luz, good morning. Thank you so much for being here. Linda Luz has been part of of the group of followers and people who have been spending time with me on Mondays. In case you're not aware of, a couple of weeks ago, I started broadcasting the Spanish version of this weekly broadcast, Directo al Corazón, every Monday at 12 noon U.S. Eastern Time, New York time. All right, so if you know somebody who could really benefit from these gatherings, who does not speak English, whose mother tongue is Spanish, please let them know. Okay. What do we talk about? Well, in essence, the same thing we talk about here. Like today, we're talking about emotional freedom, and on Monday, we're going to be talking about libertad emocional. ¿Qué más? So, the same topic. But obviously, I notice now, the 3 weeks actually since we began, that when I look at myself in Spanish and speaking, it's like a different me. It's really hard to explain. I remember my years as an actor. Whenever I struggle feeling an emotion, my acting teacher would always say, well, just do the scene in Spanish, do it in your mother tongue. And then I noticed that I was actually able to access much deeper level emotions. And part of the reason for that is that it is in our maternal language, right, where we learn how to express our primary emotions at a very early age. And so it's easier for us to express that language, that emotion in the first language that we learn how to speak. And sometimes if you speak English as a second language or another language, you're going to notice that it's much harder to communicate those emotions, because more often than not, the center of the brain that it's associated with language and logic, it's disconnected from the other part of the brain that is the emotional brain, the right brain. Hello, Yogesh. Ana Lopez says, okay, I'm going to start going to the Spanish ones too. I'm going to give priority. Thank you so much. Yes, you're very welcome. All right. All right, so emotional freedom. Let's begin there. You notice it's 2 words. It does not mean that you're free of emotions. I wish. I wish. It does not mean that. Emotional freedom does not mean you're free, like calorie free, like free of emotions. It means that there is freedom with regards to what you want to feel and how you want to respond. That's really what it means. It's also, in so many ways, the capacity to release and let go of unnecessary negative emotions that you've been holding in your energetic body, so that you can create more space for better feelings and high vibration to inhabit you. Is it possible? Is it utopic? No, it is not. It is not. One of the things for anybody who's choosing to walk this path of emotional self-mastery and do it through their heart, that it's very common to hear is the commentary or the observation that, like, wow, what used to take me like a year to get over and to process and to forgive or to let go, now it takes me a month. And what used to take me a month to get through and process and let go and forgive, now it takes me like a day And what used to take me a day to get over through is like it now takes me a minute. And what used to take me a minute, I don't even think about it anymore. So there's an acceleration of the way in which we process emotional information. And part of the reason for that is because two things. Number one, we are strengthening our emotional system. We are, in essence, increasing our capacity to feel negative emotion. Right? In a world that is designed, in essence, to keep us disconnected from our feelings and, in fact, escaping our feelings as much as possible through hyperconsumption of media, food, entertainment, you name it. Emotional self-mastery is an invitation to literally lean into our emotions and to be with those uncomfortable feelings that we normally suppress, repress, deny, or even project onto other people. So we see them out there in the world. Okay, we see the terrorists out there, yet we're not aware of our own feelings of terror, or how we may be terrorizing ourselves by the thoughts that we have about ourselves, our own inner dialogue that's coming from a place of anger and fear, or sometimes how we treat the people that we love the most. And so it's an invitation then to be with that uncomfortable emotion within ourselves. And in doing that, we strengthen our emotional systems. Think of it as if you want your physical body to become stronger, what do? You go to the gym, right? You lift weights, you run, you do cardio, you do all the things that will make your body stronger. If you want your emotional system to become stronger so that you can eventually experience emotional freedom, you have to go to the emotional gym. There's no other way. Nobody can do it for you. Christ is not going to do it for you. Mother Mary's not going to do it for you. Nobody's going to do it for you. You know, I was hearing somebody the other day I was talking to that was telling me that the priest in their parish advice was like, well, if you can't forgive this person, ask God to forgive them for you, and then you don't have to do it. Like, I wish that worked. I wish God also would pay my rent, get up and do my writing. I wish God did my shopping for me. Sure, within us, obviously, there's a divine energy that does operate through us, but I think you know what I'm getting at. There's the idea that somebody else will have to do the work that only you and only you can do. Just like nobody can do your physical push-ups so that you can get into shape, nobody can do your emotional push-ups for you. All right? Patience is a virtue, but it's also a muscle. Compassion, forgiveness, these are all muscles, and they're all the ability, or they're all part of our ability to become emotionally stronger. And so we have to go to the emotional gym. We have to be willing to lean into those uncomfortable emotions and feel them. The problem with it is that the majority of us have never been actually taught how to do that. So sitting with discomfort, sitting with uncomfortable emotion, that's the essence of what compassion is all about. The word compassion is made up of two words, com y pathos. Basically means with emotion, with pain, with suffering. So it's being with the suffering, being with the discomfort. Okay? Same thing with patience, right? It basically means in pain, being with the pain. Being impatient, in essence, means being in the pain. In the pain, with the pain. So what we want to do then is grow in our ability to be with this emotion. Now, the heart plays a key role because the heart is the center of your emotional system. And so when we activate what the Institute of Heart Math calls psychophysiological heart coherence, which is a level of coherence, of unity that happens when we harmonize all systems using the focus, emotion, and breathing into the heart, what happens then is there's an expansion of our electromagnetic fields, and then with that, there's an increase in our capacity to be with this emotional energy. It's almost as if we are creating more space inside of ourselves so that these emotions, this. If you were with us last week, we spoke about emotions being not just fluid waves of energy, hormones, vibrations, magnetism. We spoke about what emotions were. And so when you create lots of space for that emotion to move through, guess what happens? The emotion runs its course until it's finished. So what kills us more often than not is not the emotion, but is everything that we do to keep ourselves from feeling the emotion. So emotional freedom then is what ends up happening when you keep going back into this gym where you're willing to sit and be with these uncomfortable emotions, sit with them, allow them, welcome them until they move through you. In other words, give yourself permission to feel your sadness until you're no longer feeling sad. Okay? Give yourself permission to feel angry about something and just feel the anger, be with the anger, notice what the anger feels like in the body, and you're going to notice that after a while, you don't feel it anymore. It's very, very similar to what happens to when you're hungry. Has it ever happened to you when you're really hungry? It's like you're working and you don't have time for lunch and you're hungry. You feel like, oh my God, I feel like I'm going to die. I'm going to pass out. But then something happens where after a while, being with that hunger, something happens and you're not hungry anymore. And you're like, wait a minute, wasn't I hungry? Like starving like an hour ago. And then suddenly I'm not hungry anymore. And then somebody offers you food and it's like, yeah, I'm not hungry, but I was. Well, that feeling of hunger actually did not last very long. It ran and it moved through you until it exhausted itself. And the same thing is true with the majority of the emotions. The problem, again, is not the emotion itself. It's all the other things that we do to either deny, escape the emotions. And so the journey towards emotional freedom first requires that we learn how to be with this emotional energy and then welcome it, allow it. And it isn't then feeling it that we then surrender it. We let it go, believe it or not. See, welcoming it is allowing it. That's how we surrender it. That's how we let it go. Now, once you let it go, once you're able to allow to ride the wave of that emotion, literally in the way in which a surfer rides a wave until the wave just dies and then gives rise to another wave. There comes a time when there's a sense of tranquility in the space between breath, in the space between one emotional wave and the other, where you can ask yourself a very simple question. And the question is, okay, given that this happened and it brought up all these feelings in me, what would I like to feel instead? What would I like to feel instead? Okay, I'm feeling angry because this person said this or did not say this or did not do this. Okay, well, given that this just happened and I felt this, what would I like to create instead? What would I like to feel? Now, when you ask yourself that question, you're going to notice that normally the answer that comes will be something along the lines of, I want to feel peaceful, I want to be at ease, I want to feel more connected, I want to feel happy, I want to feel joyful, I want to be in the flow, something like that. Now, once you identify, once there's clarity, once there's a direction of what it is that you're wanting to feel, now you can ask the next question. And the next question inevitably is, okay, who would I have to be? What would I have to do? How would I have to respond then? If this is what I want to feel, who would I have to be? What would I have to do? How would I have to respond? Because what we're looking at is being able to respond to these live situations that have triggered us, that have brought up all these uncomfortable feelings, rather than responding or rather reacting from that feeling, reacting with anger, reacting with disappointment, with sadness, with hurt, with whatever it is. It's actually choosing where do you want to respond from? But again, as I said earlier, this requires that you first need to allow, welcome, surrender the emotion by feeling it. That's the mechanism. There's no other way around it. Okay? I mean, you notice that there's a really wonderful technique called emotional freedom technique that gains you and buys you emotional freedom. And the reason it does that is because as you're tapping into these different meridian points all along your body, you're acknowledging the emotion, you're feeling the emotion, and not only that, what are you doing? You're tapping into your acupuncture subtle energy system, which is how our emotions move through your body. And so what are you doing? You're allowing the anger, the negativity, the disappointment, the sadness to move through you as you feel it, as you acknowledge it, as you welcome it. You're not running away from it. Rather, you are acknowledging it. You know, the way out of it is, as the old cliche says, is through, not around it. Mary says, it's not easy either, of course. It ain't easy, but nobody else is going to do it for you. Now, I'm not saying that you cannot call in divine intervention, okay? Some of you may know that in part of my spiritual journey, I have participated in several daime or Santa Daime rituals. The word daime, this is a ritual that originated in Brazil, where the participants of the church, of the community, take ayahuasca. You sing and dance and pray all night long. It's very different than the more shamanic type of work with ayahuasca. But in this type of work, you're very conscious and you're singing and you're dancing, you're praying and you're doing it and offering it as service to humanity. And as you are in this trance-like state, emotions are coming up and visions are coming up and your fears and everything is coming up so that it can be met and it can be seen, it can be acknowledged, it can be realized and owned. And when Mestre Irineo, who is the person who originated this tradition, when he first began to sit with a group of people and to take the daime, which is the name of the drink, they, in the original prayers and hymns, over and over, they would say, "Dai-me força, dai-me luz, dai-me amor." So, give me strength, give me light, give me love. Give me strength, give me light, give me love. So yes, as we're sitting with this discomfort, as we're at the gym lifting, right at that moment when you're lifting the weight, you can say, "Jesus, help me." Yes, there you'll get some help. Okay, God, please help me forgive this person that really hurt me, that really let me down. Strengthen my heart. Give me patience. Give me compassion. Give me some understanding, please. Yes. You invoke the name of the divine, you will be helped. But you have to be at the gym. You have to be with the weights, doing the work for that intervention to happen. It ain't going to happen, right? While you kind of go to Starbucks and get your mochaccino and like, all right, God will take care of it while I'm having my mochaccino here. Or while I'm watching my favorite Netflix series and then tomorrow everything is going to be fine. Like, no, it doesn't happen like that. You invoke this presence, this divine. You call in the love, the light, the strength as you're doing the work. You ask for it and it is given at that moment. It is given at that moment. Trust me, but you have to do the work. And so, yes, call in the divine to help you strengthen your heart, to give you the patience, the courage, the compassion, the forgiveness, the understanding, the wisdom, whatever it is, and you will be strengthened from within. From that space, again, from the place of deeply allowing the emotion, feeling, being with the discomfort, welcoming it, breathing into your heart as you're welcoming this emotion. You don't have to like it. It's just like when you go to the gym, you know. So you see people's faces and they're like, ugh. You know, sometimes when you see people running, there's like, you can see like, ugh, it doesn't look like these people are actually enjoying what they're doing. And so sitting with negative emotion is the same way. It's uncomfortable. It's very uncomfortable. And so as you do that and you keep breathing into your heart, that helps neutralize the emotion, helps strengthen your emotional system. That creates more space for the emotion to move through you. And that moment, as you feel now that the wave of the emotion now is starting to lose its impetus, then you can ask, okay, given that this happened and given that this is what I'm feeling, what would I like to feel instead? Who would I have to be? What would I have to do? Okay, or you can ask the question, what would I like to create? In this situation, what would I like to create? So you are intentionally, you start with clarity, and then you're going to notice that out of that, then when you ask the question and you're willing to listen, then you'll know. Now, the freedom comes then in your ability then to choose rather than, again, react. To choose. To choose. To choose how you want to respond. And this is in many ways part of the work that we do here week after week with this guided meditations, as we are activating, we are literally training our emotional system to grow in an ability to feel compassionate, to feel love, to literally fill our emotional reservoir with feel-good feelings, so that when these other things happen, and they will inevitably happen because they're part of life, right? We are emotionally stronger, can deal with it, and then can choose how to respond. So the path towards then emotional freedom is basically a hard path. It's the path of love. Only when you are in that space then can you then choose to respond from a place of love, of compassion. But that requires, again, going to the gym, doing the work. Greetings, Geraldine Kelly, welcome. She says you will catch up on the replay. Lots of love and light to everybody. Welcome. Linda Lou says the key is feeling the emotion, but not letting it linger too long to the point of depression or the challenge. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. All right. So what do you say? We're now on the half-hour point. What do you say we now move into our guided meditation on experiencing emotional freedom? Remembering again, it's not freedom from emotion. That would mean you're dead. You want to be dead. You want to be dead right now? No, right? You want to be here. You want to be alive. You want to experience life, the joy of being alive, the joy of being surrounded by people that you love and feel connected to, the joy of doing things that you enjoy. Well, joy, being alive, is like a coin. It's got two sides. There's the positive aspect of the landscape, where there are feelings of elation and feel good, and then there's the other side of the coin that does not feel as good. There's a day and there's a night. There's a sun and there's a moon. And as long as we are in these human bodies and going through these human experiences, there will be highs and lows. The key to move through it all, again, is our capacity to come to the center, come to the heart. So with that, I invite you to put your feet on the ground, to ground yourself here and now in this present moment, also in your body. As we now move into this meditative space, where we're bringing now our awareness to the center of the chest, gently closing our eyes. For the next few moments in silence, we give ourselves permission to feel our heartbeats, to observe the breath as the chest rises and falls, noticing the gentle lub-dub, 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 or tuk-tuk, tuk-tuk if you speak Spanish. We're not trying to change anything. We're just simply bringing the attention, the focus to what's already happening, to what's actually been happening since the moment you were conceived, and then 9 months later begin to breathe, filled with energy and spirit. The energy that moves in your heart, animating your life, making your heart beat. The breath, the spirit that breathes through you, as you, in you. Take a moment to feel appreciation now for both that heartbeat and the breath, as you now consciously begin to breathe through the heart. Allowing that sacred breath to become nice and deep and slow and even, so that the inhale and the exhale are approximately the same length. With each breath, you give yourself permission to relax, letting go of any unnecessary tension around the head, the neck, the shoulders. Letting go of unnecessary tension in the abdomen and pelvic area. Loosening up the arms and the legs so that you're being held by the minimum effort. When you're holding yourself with minimum effort, you're being energy efficient. It also means you're in greater alignment with the field in which you live, breathe, and have your being. It is the presence of God everywhere. In the name of the Father, the Mother, the Son, and of the Holy Spirit, in the name of the I Am Presence and the Holy Christ Self of everyone here, and speaking on their behalf, I unify my heart to the heart of God. Our universal Father and Divine Mother. Feeling gratitude for the spark of God that animates my life and makes my heart beat. Feeling gratitude for the holy breath, the Holy Spirit, the holy breath that is breathing in me, breathing life in me, that is inspiring me every day to become a better person, to become a more compassionate, loving, joyful version of myself. I give thanks for this presence. I give thanks for the opportunity to come together in this mid-week space and to connect my heart to other hearts around the world, knowing that this connection is real, this connection is true. And that the sum of all of our connections together, it's creating an even greater field. And that the presence of God is in this field. As I continue to breathe in and out of my heart, I know that each and every day I am growing in my capacity to feel all kinds of emotions. Recognizing that emotions are the energy of life itself. The more I am willing to feel my emotions, the more connected I feel to others. The more connected I am to nature, to the entire creation and the Creator. The more I'm willing to let this life force through me, the more I welcome it, the more I'm able to work with it, to shape it, to harness it, to direct it for my higher benefit and the benefit of others. Today, in the name I am that I am, I choose to grow in my capacity to experience more love, more compassion, more joy. And to equally grow in my capacity to embrace and surrender all negative emotions. I give myself permission to feel anger, and as I feel it, I let it go. I give myself permission to feel sadness. I feel it, and I let it go. I give myself permission to feel guilt and shame. I feel it and I let it go. I let it go and I let God. Remembering that I am not my anger, I am not my sadness, I am not my guilt, I am not my shame, but I am an infinite being, created in the image and likeness of God, with the capacity to experience infinite emotions. The more I feel, the more God can feel through me. The more I surrender, the more God can work through me. Each day I show up the emotional gym of my life and do the heavy lifting. Forgiving those that have hurt me the most. Forgiving and letting go of any resentment I've been holding. Letting go of the past. Liberating others from the prison I've held them in within me. I open the prison within my mind where I judge someone or even judge myself, and I let them go. Choosing to no longer hold those judgments about them, of myself. Letting go of the guilt, letting go of the shame. Letting go of the need to be right. Letting go and letting God. The more I let go, the more space I create within me for compassion, understanding, forgiveness. I do all of this with God's grace. The unconditional love of the living Christ that lives within me. Knowing that in doing so, I am becoming more and more and more a beneficial presence on this planet. I'm becoming more and more and more a vehicle for the consciousness of the Christ, the living Christ, to operate through me. When a situation happens that triggers me, that brings up uncomfortable feelings, I give myself permission to be with the pain. Until it's run its course, and then ask myself, what would I like to feel instead? What would I love to create given what just happened? Letting this Christ presence within me, choose for me. I ask myself, what would love do? What if I could respond from love? What if I could respond from compassion? What if I could respond with understanding? I do all of this, receive the answers, and I follow through. Allowing my heart to be filled more and more and more with light, with strength, with love. I declare now this is my truth, and this is the truth of everyone here today. Individually and collectively, we're growing in our capacity to feel emotionally free and to choose how we want to feel, to remain strong, calm, and centered regardless of what's happening around us, and to wear the world as light garments, letting go, not sweating the small stuff. The more we flow with life, the more God can flow through us. For God is life itself. Remembering that there is no place where God is not. God is in my highest joys and my deepest sorrows. To him, both the darkness and the light are alike. Therefore, with joy, I let this be. And so it is, and it is so. Amen. Gently, we initiate now our return. Setting the intention to continue to be in this space of ease and surrender that can only happen when we're willing to move into this space of the heart. Our physical heart, our emotional heart, and our spiritual heart. Well, we're now getting close to the end of our time together, so how are you feeling? Did you feel it? You catch some of the ideas and the invitation I was talking about. You feel how we begin to be strengthened from within. We grow in our capacity to be with emotional discomfort. I teach a course on emotional self-mastery, which is part of the Heart Leader Academy's curriculum. In fact, I just began one today. Any of you who wants to join and be part of the Academy, please go to my website, gabrielgonsalves.com, and then click on where it says Academy or join the community. One of the things we talk about there with regards to this path of emotional mastery is that it's a path. There's no destination. And so I want to invite you as we wrap up our time together today just to see it exactly for what it is, as a path. We're learning how to move through the path in a new way, with a stronger heart, with a stronger emotional system, inviting then the presence of divine love to strengthen us from within so that we can continue to walk our own unique path, individual path, and then create plenty of opportunities like these weekly events to connect with each other, and create lots of opportunities where our path can connect with the path of people that we love, that are people who inspire us, people whose company we cherish. Thank you very much for your comments. Elisha says, peace and blessings, everyone. Thank you for being here with us, love. Animation person says, thank you, Gabriel. This meditation was beautiful. I saw Jesus, and I also saw the violet flame, which was transmuting the feeling I was releasing. Wow, powerful, amazing. It was grounding and magical. Ben says, I appreciate you, Gabriel. Love your meditations. I'm feeling absolutely peaceful in mind and pure in heart. Infinite love to you. You're very welcome. Nene Dingle. I like your name. It's like an artist name, like a rapper. Thank you so much for this. It was very much needed. Lebo, we're in South Africa. Lebo, I miss you. Feeling awesome. Sending you lots of love, girl. Remembering, so many special times we've spent together in class and in person as well. Mary says, processing emotions is not easy, but it's so worth it. Yes, indeed. All right, my beautiful invisible friends, thank you so much for hanging out with me today, wherever you are in the world. I hope my wish for you is that you take this feeling of peace within you and you bring it into your next activity. You're able also to maintain it during the rest of the week, remembering that these guided meditations are always here in the YouTube archive or the Facebook archive, or also within the Academy's archive, and for you to listen to them again to help you feel stronger emotionally. All right, until the next time, please take care of yourself always so that you can take care of other people. And as always, I send you all my love from my heart to yours. Bye-bye for now. Thank you for joining me in this week's HEARTSTREAM. I hope you're walking away feeling more connected to yourself and your divinity, to the planet, to others, and to all of life. Please be sure to subscribe so that you can receive notifications about upcoming broadcasts. And if you would like to sign up for my weekly newsletter, join the Heart Leader community, or register for my upcoming trainings and seminars, be sure to visit my website, gabrielgonsalves.com. Until the next time, please take care of yourself so that you can take care of others. And as always, I send you all my love from my heart to yours. Bye for now.